Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. Let's bring you up to speed with the big happenings in politics and in the polity at midday. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arrest a businesswoman Aisha Chimugu at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport after she was declared wanted in March over allegations of criminal conspiracy and money laundering. Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowore says his movement to the All Progressives Congress is beyond defection, but the movement to align and support the president's re-election to continue his good progress. Court grants federal government's request for witnesses to testify behind screens at the trial of embattled leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Thanks again for joining us on the program. We'll bring you up to speed at midday to what's happening in the polity and in politics. But the court is quite heavy on the program at this very initial part of it. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has now arrested businesswoman Aisha Chimugu at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, in the early hours of today. Her lawyer, Chika Solu Ojukwu, who confirmed the arrest, say Aisha Chimugu, who arrived voluntarily into the country from London, was arrested by the EFCC around 5 a.m. today. He criticized the EFCC's action, describing it as a violation of a court order. He adds that in light of what transpired in court yesterday, his client returned to base on the undertaking before the court to honor the EFCC's invitation, but was arrested at the airport. He further disclosed that Chimugu has commenced a hunger strike to protest what the lawyer terms a breach of a fundamental right. Mrs. Chimugu had been declared wanted in March by the EFCC over allegations of criminal conspiracy and money laundering by the anti-graft agency. Still in Abuja, where the trial of the embattled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has resumed at the Federal High Court, presiding Judge Justice James Omotosho granted the federal government's request for witnesses to testify behind screens, citing national security concerns. At the hearing, the lead defense counsel, Kanu Agabi, introduced a 22-member legal team. Though the court recognized only 13, 4 senior advocates, including Aldu Nungbe, Joseph Akubo, Emeka Itiaba, and Onyeka Chiekpeazu, have now joined the defense team. Taking the stand behind the screen, a witness identified as AAA, an 18-year veteran of the Department of State Services, that recounted that in October 14, 2015, the arrest of Kanu at the Golden Tulip Hotel in Lagos. The court heard that Kanu initially resisted the arrest, allegedly headbutting a DSS officer. According to the DSS, his hotel room looked like that of a broadcasting studio with equipment of various media devices. The equipment was seized and listed, and Kanu reportedly acknowledged the ownership and signed off to the inventory. The trial continues with the court admitting evidence presented to them today. All right, let's also tell you something that is also playing out. This is coming in from the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudera Kekerekun, who has challenged the Nigerian Bar Association to rise and defend the integrity of the judiciary. This is contained in a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Chief Justice, Mr. Toby Soni, responding to a call by members of the NBA Bar and Bench Forum for more protection for judicial officers. The Honorable Chief Justice states that most of the petitions against judges accusing them of corruption are frivolous, baseless, and unsubstantiated. Honorable Justice Kekerekun states that some people write petitions against judges just to intimidate them. The Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria says judges are traumatized after they had been investigated and found to have done nothing wrong, while encouraging anyone with genuine grievances against judges to write the National Judicial Council. The CJN warns against frivolous petitions. The CJN explains that anyone accusing judges of corruption must support the allegations with clear evidence. All right, just to let you know that it's the EFCC that actually did arrest Mr. Chimogu, not the DSS. Need to put that in proper context. But let's tell you about the politics of Delta State, which was a big one yesterday, perhaps the biggest happening in Delta State, where Sheriff Oborowore, the governor of Delta State, his deputy and his cabinet members who are politicians, as well as other members of the party at the state and local government levels are expected to also defect. So, but a couple of things were said, including his predecessor, Ifeanyi Okowa, also defected in that particular event that took place with the vice president present, as well as the progressive governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. But let's take a listen to what Sheriff Oborowore, the governor, and the former governor had to say at that event yesterday.
I've been with you for so long. I would rather sacrifice everything that is in me for the best interest of Delta. And that decision that our governor took, that we needed to move after consultation with the leaders of the party, which was cascaded down to the local governments and the world. Let us go back home and let the people know that we are taking this decision in their best interest. God bless you all. APC!
We are not Bobone. Are you Bobone? This is data. Data cannot carry last. We have been in opposition for almost 10 years. Do we need that? Mr. President has supported us. He has shown us love. We cannot face him in 2027 to work against him. That love that he has shown to us in Delta State, we need to reciprocate it. We cannot do it in our own party. You have to be inside to do it, and to do it well.
Well, it's interesting, the statements by the politicians and the political class. So what amused me is the fact that I just thought to myself now that that was the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last election. Also remember that before Peter Obi became a presidential candidate in 2023 to contest against Bola Tinubu, the president, and Atiku and the rest, he also was a vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 presidential election. Interesting how vice presidential candidates of the PDP jumped ship after they lose elections. But that's another kettle of fish for another day. Let's also bring you up to speed with what the vice president himself said yesterday at that occasion when they were receiving Mr. Oborowore and the rest of them into the party.
What testimony could be greater than the promise of this day? A political tsunami of unimaginable proportion that has never happened in the history of the South region, and barely in the history of this country. A tsunami of this proportion had never happened. All the members of the upper chamber of the National Assembly are in the APC. The Speaker and all the members of the House of Assembly. So many members of the House of Representatives. The governor and his entire cabinet and 500 councillors across the 25 local government areas of this great state. What testimony do you have greater than this?
Okay, that's the Vice President. Later that evening, Festus Keyamo, the aviation minister, was also in our studios right here in, on our sister program. And this is what he had to say about that defection.
It was a very momentous occasion, and the significance is actually not lost on both parties, both major parties, the PDP and the APC. The PDP, they know that they have lost something like their soul. Delta was like the soul.
What do you mean by the soul?
If you know party politics, you will know that Delta was like the soul of PDP. They've lost their soul. Delta was one of the major funders of PDP. They've lost it. And this is one of the major boosts for the APC ahead of even 2027 and even beyond in terms of the growth and development of the party. So it's a major political CS-make activity that took place today.
Is it a win for your party or a win for the Nigerian people?
It's a win for the people of Delta State, first of all, and a win for the Nigerian people as a whole. Because it's always important for a state to align with the politics or the government at the center. It's always important. Well, you may say that after politics, then it's all governance. But as human beings, sometimes this division between parties affect governance.
It's interesting, the perspective of the political class when it comes to these issues. But let's bring in a politician this time. Jonathan Okodiko is a member representing Isoko Federal Constituency. He joins us virtually from our nation's capital, Abuja. Mr. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on the program, sir. If you can unmute your device so we can hear you. Okay.
Thank you very much, the presenter, and good afternoon.
Fantastic. I hear that. Okay, let's be clear. Are you already in the AP? Are you one of those already in the APC or you're in the PDP about to go to the APC for the purpose of the audience? So let's be clear.
I'm a full member of APC.
Okay, so you're the only member of the APC in the House of Reps as we speak. I mean, before the defection. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
We moved together with everybody in Delta State.
Okay, that's what I was asking. So you defected yesterday officially. That's my question.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So you have left the umbrella to pick up the broom, and it's interesting. Okay, let me take the question from where Festus Keyamo, the aviation minister, talked about yesterday. From what he said, it's difficult to understand why Sheriff Oborowere actually defected. Now, for the record, he has a right to defect and associate with anybody. In fact, if you look at the Constitution, he may not even need a reason as governor to defect for whatever reason. But he said, from his words or his mouth to my listening ears and the listening ears of everybody who was listening to the program, he said, look, Sheriff was doing well as a governor. And he was even jokingly saying to somebody when he was traveling to his village that the roads, that the governor was doing that, it will be difficult to beat this man in the 2027 election. So, because we know that it's about political survival for most politicians. So if Sheriff was already doing well as governor and PDP being the strongest or default, Delta being the default state for the PDP, why exactly do you think the governor decided to defect?
You know, when you are a leader, what the governor did is to show leadership. And not to think about himself only, but is to think about the interests of his people, Deltans as a whole. So the decision that he took is for the benefit of all Deltans. Because he look at the whole scenario. Yes, he's doing extremely well, like what everybody is saying. You know, but what happens to the political future of the state? And that is why he decided to take the decision. That is why he decided to take the decision that he took, to carry everybody along, and for Delta State political future to be secured.
Honorable, so when you say the political future of the state, explain what you mean. What is this political future? What exactly is at stake here that he couldn't have achieved?
Now
Yes, go ahead.
You know, you people have been doing a lot of analysis, political analysis. You have different programs that dwell on the political situations of Nigeria and what is happening in the country as of today. If I ask you today, you people have talked about the political future of PDP for a very long time. And if you look at what is happening today, PDP is not existing because PDP have no structure at the federal level. So who will continue to be in a place that doesn't have a future? And that is what I mean. As of today, if I ask you today, who is the secretary of PDP? You don't even know. You cannot tell me who is the secretary of PDP as a party of today, as of today.
I'm not a member of the PDP, by the way. So if you ask me, you people in the party will be able to answer whether it's Ude Okoye or Sam Anyang. That's not my problem.
Good. That is to tell you the uncertainty of our situation of PDP as of then.
So is it that this is not the first time political parties are having issues? It's just that the PDP is unable to get its acts together. So what is the bigger fear here? Is it the fear that the wrangling, interest wrangling, which is exactly what it is, between the power brokers and the PDP of who should hold the national secretary position, could in one way or the other affect maybe the nomination or the possibility of even fielding a candidate in the 2023 presidential election in that case? Or is it the fear or the concern about the issue about Ifeanyi Okowa, the former governor, allegedly having questions to answer about some alleged embezzlement of the state funds to the tune of 1.something trillion, which politicians believe that if he joins a leading party, that may give him some level of soft landing?
No, to me, and as you know, it have nothing to do with the former governor. The decision that the whole PDP in Delta State have taken is a decision to secure the future of every Delta's political future, including my own. As I'm talking to you, I'm a member of House of Representatives, representing Isoko Federal Constituency. Before yesterday, I don't even know what will happen to me if I decide to contest in 2027. And it's the same thing to every political office holder in Delta State. And it's the same thing to every PDP member from unit level to the state level. So, and we can't, what happened is that the governor just listened to the cry of each and every one of us. Because every day we cry to him, what is happening? What is happening? What is going to happen to our political future? Something needs to be done. And we have to move to a place that is secure, that we know that the political future of Delta State can be secured. And that is what happened. It has nothing to do with...
Before we go on a short commercial break to come back, so what is the bigger fear here? Is it the fear of winning the election or having a well put together political party to be able to present you for election? Because it has to be one of them, if I stay with your narrative, because there are other narratives as well.
Yeah, there is no fear of any type. What happened is, for us to be able to have a platform, anybody that is aspiring to contest for any political position, to have a platform in which he can contest for that position. And at the same time, Delta State have been an opposition for the past 10 years, like what the governor said. And we cannot continue to be an opposition. And the president have shown us love. If you don't forget that the wife of the president also is from Delta State. So we cannot leave our own, and we cannot continue to be an opposition. And that is why we all decide to move to the ruling party, which is APC, in order for us to be on the mainstream politics.
All right, Honorable General,
yes.
I understand we have a quick break. So you stay with me now that you have decided to join your in-law in his political party, because that's what you're saying in essence. So since the president married a Delta woman, it's just natural for Delta people to join their in-law. That's another narrative I'm just hearing again. But we're going to talk about this issue of aligning to the center and that narrative by Nigerian politicians in just a moment. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're still talking about the mass defection of the PDP members from PDP to the APC in Delta State, led by the governor and his predecessor, Ifeanyi Okowa, as well as literally the entire party structure in the state. They call it the mass defection. So one of those who defected yesterday, Honorable Jonathan Okodiko, a member representing Isoko Federal Constituency, is my guest. Honorable, thank you for staying with us.
Thank you very much.
So let's talk about this aligning with the center. It's been difficult for me as a journalist to understand what it means, but I have heard politicians make that statement, and I would like your view as well, because I know that in developing a state, it's just like crude oil, it's just like PMS, for instance. The biggest cost component of refining or getting PMS out for us to put in our cars is crude oil. The rest are just ancillary costs that make up the cost that gets to the filling station. So when it comes to running a state, in terms of funding, and two most important thing is FAC allocation, which is the federation money they share, as well as IGR. Whether you are in the ruling party at the federal, you will still get your FAC. Your IGR is intact. If there's a minister that's supposed to be appointed from your state, even if he's not nominated by the governor, it's still going to be somebody from your state. So when politicians say aligning with the center for better governance, what does it mean? I've asked this question time and again. I don't think I've gotten a satisfactory answer. Maybe you can be different this time.
Yeah, aligning with the center, a development go beyond just FAC allocations and we're going to the center to share money. Most of the time, you need the support of the of the central government in order for you to implement some of your policies that you intend to implement. Take it for instance, like data state, the more agenda. There are so many things that with the assistance that the federal government have been rendering, like what our governor said, right from Honorable Sheriff Oborori, that the president have shown love to Delta State, in so many ways, in terms of development, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of other things that the Delta State is lacking before, in collaboration with the state government. Taking for instance, if in Delta State right now, there are some projects that the state government intend to collaborate with the federal. Taking for instance, improvement of our ports, improvement of electricity, improvement of so many things, so many developmental projects that now that we belong to the central, that we're able to draw back home with ease.
Honorable, my apologies. I understand we're running out of time. So for the program, let me understand you. Are you saying that the federal government can deliberately not carry out developmental projects in Delta State simply because they are not now they are APC, when they were PDP? So if there's a project to be done in Delta State, because they are APC, they are not going to do it? Is that what you're saying?
No. If there is a project that they are going to do in Delta State, because we belong to the central government, you will be able to fund it better. You will be able to see how they will be able to fast track it as quickly as possible, okay, and to make sure that those projects succeed.
Okay, Honorable Amos, thank you so much. But if you ask me, I'm not. Nobody has been able to convince me, but it's fine. It's okay. When it comes to this aligning with the center narrative, it's difficult for politicians. If you want to align, it's fine. But saying that will engender development is a difficult narrative because you still control the box, control the money. But Honorable, it's an ongoing conversation. I must thank you so much for coming at short notice. Jonathan Okodiko is a member representing Isoko Federal Constituency. And congratulations on aligning with the center and joining the party of your in-law.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll have a wonderful day.
You too. Okay. Before we go, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Olorundare Jimoh, says that the command will continue to engage state actors and enhance crime control mechanism across the state. Mr. Jimoh was speaking during the visit of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 18 of the National Institute of Security Studies, NIST.
sensitization, door-to-door canvassing, home visits, and other things of interest in the public. Once we pay particular attention to that, I think there's an issue that those who, the media are very good, they're excellent, but those people that may want to be mischievous about what we are doing, they won't be able to have a foothold because already the public knows us and we know the public. We have been engaging in non-state actors. Last Friday, like I said, I went to the hunters. We have what they call the civilian JTV also. Then we have the Agropola, and two other people. And I let them know that we have to be on the same page because they have their personnel in the riverine and in the difficult terrains that are there, that are on the military. So they will actually patrol with us. And when we have incidents of crime, they equally organize to assist us. And since I resumed, for the last 2 months, we don't have any single case of kidnapping. We don't have any violent robbery or the team of concern, like where you see a several and place and you identify them, we don't have such a case. But I want to let you know that Lagos is safe, Lagos is secure, and we are not able to sustain this level of crime that we have.
All right, that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzonga. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.